Guys. A little bit more of a serious video here. I don't typically upload these. You guys know if you watch me, but do you ever just feel like you hate God? Like you're angry at him? Like there's nothing that he's gonna do for you, or like you've been locked out, you know? Hard off from Christ and he just doesn't want you anymore. That's how I've been feeling lately. At least not right now, but every now and again. Maybe I'm just growing up and having mood shifts, whatever. I know that stuff happens when you are in your teenage years, but it really feels like sometimes you just hate him so much. But I don't want him to leave me at the same time, because I know it means I'd go to hell if I forsook him. But I don't know. It's a terrible feeling. You're so angry at him, but you don't want to abandon him. But then again, you've become so dulled to sin that you don't even know what to do anymore. You don't feel like he's going to deliver you, or he's going to help you, you know? Like he's barred you off because you've been too bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we can just yell at God whenever we want, because while he does laugh at us for getting angry at him, at least I think he does, because, you know, it seems kind of silly that we fallible humans laugh at a God who's infinitely stronger because we don't get our way, but it really feels like that, you know? And I may sound like a hypocrite in the future, or even in the past, because, like I said, this is an on and off thing. Sometimes and it could just be a thing of like, oh, he's not letting me do what I want, so I'm gonna hate him. That's likely the case, but it just feels like that, you know? It feels difficult to really get into, because you have to know what it feels like to understand what I'm talking about. And I kind of want, okay, with the last like minute and 30 I have of this, picture this in your head, or imagine this, or try to put yourself in this situation. Hopefully you're never in it, but put yourself in this situation just in your head. You're waking up one day after you've accepted Christ and whatnot, and you've moved on from the core principles of faith. Or not moved on, but you know what I mean. And you really want to do something. You're gonna do something, you do it, and you want to enjoy your day, and it's great. You're having a great time. But every day seems like you could just pass away. So you want to keep on like, do this every single day, and I want to do how my life does every single day, because I might not wake up the next day, and you don't really have that security. Like you do, you know you're going to get to heaven because you've accepted Christ, but you're just waning on if you actually are, or if you're just being deceived by yourself. And it really sucks, because that's where I kind of am. I'm rushing through every day, just trying to feel like I've fulfilled myself in life, like I've lived fulfilled and I can die peacefully, but I can't, because there's so many aspirations and so many things that I want to do that I won't be able to do by the time I die, because I just can't do everything. And I have to worry about doing not too much. Of course, it's not as bad as it sounds, because I'm still a kid. I still have time to do what I want. Once I get old, I'll probably have no time to do what I want, unless I retire, but probably won't be able to. Or hopefully Jesus comes before then. I don't want to get old, but who does? Anyway, so enough yapping. Back to what I was saying. It feels like you just have so many aspirations and so many things you want to do before you die that you're just never going to do. And you can't feel fulfilled without them. And the main aspiration I'm talking about is, it's not really a single one aspiration, but it's a lot of them. It's like you're always discovering something new that's fun and that you want to do and that you enjoy and care about greatly, because it looks like that could be really fulfilling for you. or something like that, and you just worry that you won't have the time to do it because you're caught up in doing so many other things that are more important. Like, I know I have Bible reading time set up, and sometimes I rush through my Bible reading just so that I can get back to doing what I enjoy. And granted, that's not the best way to read the Bible, and I'd recommend you work on it with each other, or talk to God about it, because I'm working on it, but it's going. But yeah, it's just so many different things that I want to do, or that I want to be able to experience in life before we pass, because there's always that anxiety of, like, when he calls the trumpets and the rapture happens, am I really going to be saved, or am I going to be too caught up in worrying about doing what fulfills me now, or what I want to be able to, at least understand. Like, I want to know what it's like to code, or to make a game, to be a game developer, or to play games with friends all the time. And I know we've got to grow up, and sometimes we got to sacrifice some things, but it's really difficult when you're 14. And I'm not gonna get all angry at God, because we're actually working things out. I've actually seen a lot less agitatedness, if that's a word, towards him since we've been talking it out. And maybe that's the solution, just talk it out with him. But I know it works for a lot of things, but it feels like I'm too caught up now, and I'm losing my convictions because I'm not focusing on him. I'm not worried about him, or I want to do other things that he might not want. And I'm not talking about, like, sinning in certain ways, but I'm talking about, like, you watch TV too much, or you play games too much. And I'll be honest, I kind of do. There's not much else to do around here, so it's a really bad habit of mine. But at some point, it just becomes a thing of, like, is this really what he wants, or am I just worrying over nothing, And I know some of you might sympathize, and I'm sorry for making the video so long, but it feels bad, because you don't want to give up Christ, but you're kind of just putting him on pause. You're putting him on hold, if you will, until you feel like getting back into him. And I've seen it. I've been, like, I can see it. I'm starting to fade. Not, like, in my belief. I believe him. I believe in him, and I'll never stop believing, and I'll always accept him and whatnot. But it feels more like a thing of, like, hey, that was a phase, and now I'm transitioning to some other part of my life, and God is just there. He's just there, and or at least I keep ignoring him, and I keep him on hold until I need him for something. And it's a way of using God, and I don't like it necessarily, but it's so hard to choose, because you're doing something wrong, but then, hey, here's this other thing that you really want to do, and that ends up winning, because at 14, at least how I've experienced it, it is so hard to overcome picking God over something that you want to do. It's crazy. Overall, I hope I could explain the feeling a little more and let you know that he cares. I know I sound like a hypocrite because I suck with these things, but he cares. Anyway, I'm running out of time, so I'll leave that with what you can do what you want with it.